Good afternoon, friends. It's Friday, September 18th, the end of a week. Yay! Time for a reflection. So it's been a long, heavy, troublesome time. So I thought I'd share a little humor with you today. It was sparked by something I heard on the radio as I was driving into work this morning. A story of a woman, I think in Florida, who called the authorities because she found an alligator in her shed. The homeowner was petrified. I don't blame her. I've seen alligators. But unfortunately, when the police got there, they took some pictures after they rescued the alligator and said, this is an incredible blow-up alligator. It wasn't real. It was like a pool toy. Which got me thinking. It was back on Labor Day weekend. In fact, probably Labor Day that my brother and I talked at length. I shared with you that he's a lay pastor at Zion Lutheran Church in Portland, Connecticut. But we also were talking about the hopes for 2021. He knows now that Joan is retiring, soon to be fully retired, and that I'm planning on retiring in mid-June of next year. So he was asking, what were we going to do on our journey east? Because it's my mother's major birthday, one ending with a 0. And I said, well, I'm really looking forward to a drive east because I want to stop and visit friends. And on the return trip, I want to stop and visit other friends and visit some of the national parks. We've got that as a bucket list item, which then led to some funny stories. Pete remembers a story that when we were camping in Texas, after we'd set up camp and gone to the pool and done all that stuff, my mom asked him to go to the store and get something because she needed probably something for dinner. Pete traipsed off. I guess probably my other brother Eric and I were late getting back to the campsite, and after a while my dad said, "Pete's not back yet." We wondered what that meant and why it had taken so long. So my dad and I headed off down the dirt road toward the camp store. Partway down the road, we saw in big words written in the middle of the road, "Help!" Huge letters. And about a sight and a half later, we found Pete sitting up on top of the picnic table in a vacant campsite. He looked a little bit anxious and worried. When we got there, he said, "Did you see that huge animal that was in the road? It scared me. I wrote help on the road because somebody needed to help me." We said, "No, we didn't see anything." On the way back, Pete pointed out this huge, scary animal, an armadillo curled up on the side of the road. It became part of our family lore and joke stories. I shared that because then the next one I remembered when I was telling him that we're probably going to return on the southern route, and I'd love to go see some of those southern national parks. He said, "Well, do you remember Petrified Forest?" And as soon as he said it, I started laughing. Yeah, I do remember the Petrified Forest. You see, that was one of our long camping trips. We stopped and pulled out and parked the car and went off on a hike. We were going to check out all the sites. When we got back to the car, I was the one who spotted this. A snake was curled up right next to the door, the back door, passenger side, where I was going to be getting in. Well, I'm not a fan of snakes in the first place, so when I saw that way back from the car, I stopped. And I said, "Mom, Dad, Eric, Pete, we're not going to the car. There's a snake right there." And so we all backed up as far across that parking lot as we could, keeping our eye on the snake and the car. We were hoping the snake would just uncoil and slither away. But after a period of time, and it didn't move at all, along came a park ranger in one of the trucks. My dad flagged the ranger down and started talking to him, explaining to him about the snake sitting beside our car. The ranger got out of the truck, walked over, looked at the snake, went back to the truck, leafed through a book. I'm assuming it was a book about snakes in petrified forest. Walked back to the snake and back to the book and back to the snake and back to the book. And then about the fourth time that he walked back to the snake, he just paused for a few moments and kicked it. It flew the length of the car up to the berm of at the end of the parking lot. And I thought, this man is crazy. But the snake never moved. I mean, it flew, but it never uncoiled. And I thought, must be a dead snake, but I didn't know that they would stay coiled when they were dead. And then he picked it up. Not with a glove, not with a long handle, his bare hands. And he walked over to us and he said, "Would you like your snake back?" It wasn't ours. It was indeed a snake that was purchased at the gift shop, because it still had the price tag on the bottom of it. And undoubtedly it either fell out of the bag or out of the car as the car next to us was leaving, depositing this scary snake. Why would we or they want to scare somebody like that? That's not what I was expecting. Well, there's no major connections to the biblical material or to faith life. I just thought you'd like to hear some funny stories of my life and some of the silly things that have happened, just to bring a grin to your face at the end of this week. Hey, see you Sunday. We have another stewardship temple talk being provided by Barbara Blue this week. So I do look forward to seeing you in worship, and I look forward to you hearing and seeing Barbara and her sharing of stewardship stories. And remember, wash your hands, please, 3-4 times a day, 20 seconds at a time. Use that soap and water. Sing happy birthday to yourself as you wash your hands. That's a 20-second song. And then put lotion on afterwards. Keep them nice and soft. Love one another, but if you're not in a family group, make sure that you stay 6 feet apart. Wear your masks. Be safe. Keep social distancing. And of course, be safe out there. Bye-bye.